Whether we realize it or not, people judge our strength long before we open our mouths. Not physical strength, but psychological strength. Research in social psychology shows that the human brain is wired to evaluate dominance, confidence, and emotional stability within milliseconds. These snap judgments influence how people treat you, trust you, and even listen to you. But here's the twist. Many individuals unintentionally display behaviors that make them appear insecure, uncertain, or fragile, even when they don't feel that way inside. These habits are subtle, often automatic, and deeply tied to emotional patterns and cognitive biases. Understanding these behaviors doesn't just help you look stronger, it helps you be mentally stronger, clearer, and more grounded. Behavior 1. Over-explaining yourself. One of the most common behaviors that unintentionally signals weakness is the habit of over-explaining. When someone adds unnecessary details, repeatedly defends themselves, or justifies even the smallest decisions, it sends a subtle psychological message: I'm afraid of being misunderstood, corrected, or disliked. Research from the University of Cambridge supports this, showing that people who feel socially insecure or anticipate judgment tend to use significantly more words than needed. In those moments, the brain interprets silence as danger and tries to fill the space to prevent rejection. But the irony is that this extra explaining rarely reassures anyone. It usually highlights doubt rather than confidence. What strong communicators do is the opposite. They speak with clarity, share only what's necessary, and stop. They trust their own judgment enough not to defend every decision, and this calm brevity signals confidence. Psychology calls this verbal economy, a communication style associated with leadership and authority. When you stop over-explaining, people naturally take your words more seriously because you're not diluting them with defensiveness. So instead of proving yourself with long explanations, you project certainty with intentional, concise statements. A subtle shift that instantly changes how others perceive your confidence and emotional strength. Behavior 2. Avoiding eye contact and shrinking your body language. Neuroscience shows that body language accounts for more than 60% of how others judge your confidence, even before you speak. When someone avoids eye contact, lowers their head, fidgets, or physically shrinks into themselves, crossed arms, slouched shoulders, closed posture, the observer's amygdala immediately picks up on those signals. This part of the brain is wired to assess dominance, safety, and social hierarchy within milliseconds. Research from Harvard and Princeton demonstrates that these low-power postures don't just influence how others see you, they also change your internal chemistry. Within minutes, they lower testosterone, the hormone linked to confidence and assertiveness, while increasing cortisol, the hormone associated with stress and self-doubt. On the other hand, confident body language creates the reverse effect. Standing tall, making steady eye contact, keeping your shoulders open, and using controlled, deliberate movements send a subconscious message of stability and authority. These high-power postures signal to both your brain and everyone around you that you're grounded and capable. Studies show they boost your internal sense of control and reduce anxiety, which makes your communication more compelling. Ultimately, your posture and gaze broadcast strength long before your words do, and people respond more to how you carry yourself than to anything you say. Before continuing, if you are a content creator or want to start making money on YouTube, check out Gia Media. They take care of everything for you, including scripting, editing, titles, and thumbnails. It's 16 videos per month for only $480. You just bring the idea, and they grow your channel for you. If you're interested, leave a comment and I'll send you the link. Behavior 3. Being a people pleaser. Chronic people pleasing might look polite or easygoing on the surface, but psychologically, it communicates insecurity and a lack of inner strength. Research from the University of Minnesota shows that people who struggle to say no often do so out of fear of conflict, fear of rejection, or fear of disappointing others. When you automatically agree to everything, you unintentionally signal that your boundaries are flexible or even non-existent. This invites the wrong kinds of people to overstep, manipulate, or take advantage of you, not because they are evil but because human behavior naturally tests limits. Without clear boundaries, others begin to assume that your time, energy, and emotional space are always available. Neuroscientists explain that firm boundaries aren't just social tools, they're essential for mental stability. Your brain needs a sense of control and predictability to feel safe. When you constantly say yes to avoid upsetting someone, your nervous system stays on high alert, monitoring reactions, managing people's emotions, and trying to prevent conflict. This chronic hypervigilance drains energy and erodes self-respect. Truly confident people aren't harsh or dismissive. They simply value their integrity more than temporary approval. They understand that saying no is not an act of rebellion. It's an act of self-protection, self-awareness, and emotional maturity. Behavior 4. Complaining, apologizing excessively, and victim thinking. Constant complaining, emotional dumping, and excessive apologizing can make you appear far more powerless than you realize. Research published in Personality and Social Psychology Review shows that chronic complainers are consistently judged as less competent and less emotionally stable, even when their issues are legitimate. The same happens with over-apologizing. It signals guilt, insecurity, and a belief that you're in the wrong by default. Psychologically, this creates an image of someone who lacks control over their emotions and environment. People instinctively trust and respect you less when your communication constantly centers around frustration or self-blame. It doesn't make you look polite, it makes you look unsure of yourself. From a neuroscience perspective, falling into a victim mindset can literally reshape your brain's reward system. Each time you receive comfort, sympathy, or validation after expressing helplessness, your brain releases small bursts of dopamine. Over time, this conditions you to repeat the same behaviors because your mind begins associating negativity with emotional payoff. Strong individuals break this cycle by expressing emotions without turning them into their identity. They acknowledge their feelings, but they don't wallow in them or use them to gain approval. Instead, they focus on solutions, take responsibility for what they can control, and direct their energy toward progress. This balance, emotional awareness without emotional dependence, is what truly communicates inner strength. Looking weak has nothing to do with your voice, your physique, or how loudly you speak. It's rooted in psychological signals, subtle behaviors that quietly reveal fear, insecurity, or a lack of boundaries. The good news is that every one of these patterns is changeable. Neuroscience shows that the brain can rewire itself through repetition, a process known as neuroplasticity, meaning confidence is built through consistent habits, not personality traits. When you practice direct communication, hold strong body language, set clear boundaries, and stop leaking emotions in every interaction, you naturally begin to project calm, grounded strength. And the shift is noticeable. People treat you with more respect, take you more seriously, and trust your presence. Real strength isn't about overpowering others. It's about mastering your inner world. When you transform these 7 behaviors, you don't just appear stronger, you actually become someone who moves through life with clarity, discipline, and emotional resilience.